If you're new here, I am Dr. Mary, and I host this podcast on nutrition, and also I teach weekly classes among our community members, and also you see me doing consultations, doing my research for community focus outreach, and also to just help people get the food literacy skill needed. So today is the last episode for this year 2025. It's just like, when did I start? I know this channel was created April 2025, right after I think my birthday celebration. So it's good to know that you all have been following me, doing life with me here on YouTube. So thank you so much. I'm in the Christmas mood. Merry Christmas, compliment of the season. And by the way, today is the last episode for this year. So let's get into today's episode. Okay. Last week, I talked about ultra processed food and how we can swap or replace ultra processed food in our meals using a healthy food environment and being intentional about what we eat. So today, it's a follow up and also to guide us into this holiday season, our eating, our cooking. Um, Dietary quality of the meals you eat can affect your glycemic control or your blood sugar level, even if you are not diagnosed with pre-diabetes or diabetes condition or any other diet related chronic diseases. It's good that you are conscious of the food you put into your mouth that fuels your body so that you are not overstimulating your insulin hormone to work or overwork this season. So, I want to talk about some statistics from the American Diabetics Association, and then I will give some tips for managing your blood glucose level, and we wrap up for today, right? So, American Diabetes Association, I'm looking at my screen just not to mix the statistics up. They've actually recommended clinicians guideline for people that are seeing their healthcare providers for diabetics management, and they've recommended that individuals that need management of either diabetes condition, either the type 1 or type 2, need to eat healthy dense meal, nutrient dense, and also to achieve a good HB1C, A1C levels, and also manage other cofactors or markers like the cholesterol, blood pressure, and the likes. So if you know that you are yet to get a diagnosis, it's good to check with your glucometer at home. But importantly, you can't get diagnosed without seeing a healthcare provider like your physician. Even if you think your blood sugar is high, HB1C levels actually help check the blood glucose for an interval of 3 months, and that also help your physician to look at other factors, your medical history, and confirm diagnosis. So don't self-diagnose yourself, and watch out for self-treatment, please. Don't do that. Okay, so for an average individual that is struggling with blood glucose level and still don't want to miss out on the good flavors and taste of their meals, I would advise you that you should be conscious and monitor your glucose level, and also if you need insulin regulation or assistance, you can talk about weight management options with your provider. And it's good to also manage stress, cortisol level. Are you sleeping well? Taking break from screen. It will also help your general lifestyle modification, and also be at optimal health. 68% of people have been living undiagnosed, and in America we have about 27.2 million people over the age of 65 or older that have been diagnosed with prediabetes, and about more than 30% of our population in the United States have been diagnosed with prediabetes. So, prediabetes is that state where your blood sugar level has not entered that category of diagnosis of being having diabetes, but it increases your risks and also puts you at some risk level in terms of lifestyle factors. We call it lifestyle factors that affect your cardiometabolic risks or metabolic health, your HB1C, your weight status, physical activity level, tobacco status. Are you smoking or not? Are you taking a high level of alcohol? Those factors actually affect diagnosis and also affects general lifestyle. So please watch out for that. And in a study that was done, I think in 2021, it was published, but the study used like the national NIS data. The national health data is an epidemiological data in the US, and they examined the relationship between dietary quality, glycemic control, and the food insecurity of people living with type 2 diabetes. They found that these individuals with stratifications of their socioeconomic level and other things, they found that people are at very high level of disadvantage due to income level, access to food, and other things that affect their health. So please, I'll put the paper here. We can read more, but I don't want to go into that. I want to go into the solution, not the problem, because this will help us put in perspective what we need to do and not just the data. In that study, actually, let me read through it. It was conducted among 1,682 adults, and they are over 20 plus, like adult population, young age. And they found out that the dietary quality among these people using the healthy eating index 2015 found out that people with poor diet quality were mostly Hispanic, the black population, with lacking access to regular food and also care. About 16% of that study population had its HB1C greater than 9. And when people don't even have good access to quality food, struggling with food insecurity, no supply of regular meals, or even have that assurance of where the next meal will come from, it actually increases poor dietary intake. And about 68% of that study population reported poor diet quality. So, food insecurity, having access to food, like I mentioned last week, your food environment, eating healthy, affect diet-related disease like diabetes. You can't manage this condition without having access to healthy food, affording it and be able to prepare it. So nutrition education, while we are teaching it, is not just for the information, but we also want people to be able to prepare, have that skill to prepare the meal. And so the study itself, it's not in isolation of the solution. This study is telling us what can we do. And what we can do is that one, prioritize buying whole grains. You can look at meals that will help control your glycemic index. So glycemic index is like the ability of the carb you're eating or any food to spike your blood sugar within a 1 hour interval of consumption. And also using food labels in terms of food that you buy from the store, you purchase from the store. But don't forget, last week I mentioned that it's good to prepare food at home. You know what you're eating, you know what is there, you're not worried about food additives or some enhancers in the food. that might be carcinogenic or might also not be transparent in what is in your food. So if you're preparing your meals like all grains, or you buy food close to the head, like I mentioned, you can be able to know, oh, this is what I'm cooking, the cooked weight or the raw weight. You can be able to maybe weigh your food and know the gram you're portioning for your meal. So an example is a cup of cooked rice. Most times, a cup of cooked rice, white rice or brown rice, depending on what you have. I think both white rice and brown rice can give about 45 gram of carb when we are looking at carbohydrate counting, and your weight should determine the food you're eating. That's why I'm saying that you need to talk to a dietitian, you need to talk to a nutritionist coach to help you know the personalized diet plan for yourself and what you need to eat. For instance, I'm from Nigeria and we eat yam. If you know that yam or pounded yam, depending on you want to eat it with swallow, a cup of pounded yam can give up to 60 gram of carbohydrates. And so if you're thinking, oh, uh, I just want to eat a big bowl of pounded yam with all the soup, even if you are eating high protein meal in it, the beef, if you are not counting your carb, especially with diabetics management, it's risky because it can spike up your blood sugar and it can affect your health generally, or you don't want to go into complications or lacking ability to be functional in your day-to-day activities. Also, the type of meals you eat, I recommend people eating more of beans. When I mean beans, Nigerian people don't come and say that, oh, they say we should eat beans. It kind of help you to have variety. We have kidney beans, we have honey beans, is oloyin in Nigeria. And then you can actually see that most of the beans products don't give too much spike to blood sugar levels. I know even some fruit like watermelon. I think one medium cut or slice of watermelon give about 11 cups of gram of carbohydrates, and why some fruit like banana have higher carbohydrate level, and that's why you need to know what you're putting in your body in terms of the portion size of the food, or even the fruit and vegetables. They have their different way they spike blood sugar level and regulation. So when we say eat fruit and vegetables, depending on your condition, try not to just eat everything without seeking an expert advice or talking to a dietitian, because this food contain carbohydrates, contain the different nutrients. Even though they have potassium, they have electrolyte like banana in this instance, they can also spike your blood sugar level because of the carbohydrate content in them. So you need a personalized recommendation. Especially we look at your weight, look at your height, we look at medical history, we look at food access, your cultural preferences, adaptation, and also what you can afford. Do you even have the money to buy this food? Or we can talk about healthy and cheaper alternatives. So, in summary of today's talk, as I round off, is get your diagnosis confirmed. Don't assume, oh, I'm just tired. Maybe it's hyperglycemia, that's high blood sugar level. And people, I think my blood sugar is high. It might just be a one off spike or based on some stress level and the kind of food you're eating. Because diabetics is a chronic condition. That means it doesn't just start in a day or in a week, it's based on the pile up of maybe the insulin being inhibited, the hormone that regulate blood sugar. So you need to talk to your physician and they need to assess you for diagnosis. Don't just say, oh, I have family history. Oh, my mother have this, my father have this. That means I have this. You also need to check. Please don't self-diagnose yourself, and also seek an expert to talk to you. Yes, we have Wellbeing Matters community. I share nutrition information, evidence-based guidance, but importantly is that you speak or consult for a one-on-one session to be sure the coaching that you need for your specific diagnosis is achieved. and we implement smart strategies. We also teach you how to prepare your meals. I'll put a picture of a kitchen table that have a stove and someone is preparing. Sometimes you don't even need to do a long culinary um, lesson to know what to cook. You just need the basic knowledge, and so that's why we're here. For next year, we're going to be having more interactive episode. I will invite more guests, but in retrospect, this year's webinar has been a blessing, not just to you, but to me, because I'm getting to know that this is not just in my head, it's for people and it's giving value to you. So thank you for joining us since April. I know we talk on the virtual platform, but also for all the videos we've been uploading, you can watch the ones you've missed and send your questions. In the description, you will see our email address, or you can also book a session for January. Schedule is filling up so quick, almost January is almost filled, but schedule that. Will work on availability to give you a counseling accountability session for your nutrition journey and a healthy life. So till next time, Merry Christmas, and take care. Bye.